Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Firecats3 here. And well, last video we were talking about Katsuki Bakugou and the reasons I love him. Well, this video we are going to continue that. So, spoiler warning. Again, we are talking about mainly the anime from season 1 to season 3 and a little bit past season 3 into season 4, the first couple episodes of season 4. Obviously, season 4 hasn't had enough Bakugou in it right now. I'm recording this on the 2nd of January, so at this point in season 4, we really haven't seen much of Bakugou, so there's not enough we can say about him with that season. So, if you've seen all of season 3, all season 2, and all season 1, you're pretty much good to go. But that is your only warner for spoilers, so listen to the rest of this at your own risk. Alright, let's move into our first point. Alright, so the next thing, so we've talked about just the journey Bakugou's been on, but as you noticed, I skipped around maybe a few things that kind of happened. I kind of just gave you what happened and Bakugou's growth. Not really talking about the people around him. So this segment is going to be on the relationships Bakugou has formed. And of course, if we're going to talk about relationships Bakugou has formed, the biggest one we must talk about is Idro Kirishima. I mispronounced that. I know there's going to be 100 comments down below. You mispronounced his first name. Anyway, Kirishima. So when Bakugou meets Kirishima, they seem to just hit it off instantly. Kirishima just seems to really think Bakugou is cool. He just thinks he's a cool dude. And they kind of become best bros, as Kirishima would say. It is known through the grapevine of this fandom that Bakugou respects Kirishima enough to take him on hikes, which is something Bakugou loves to do. You know, it's just Bakugou kind of has a respect for Kirishima, and the people you end up being best friends with kind of shape a little bit what you're actually like. You know, if you know someone who has like this really good, if you're really good friends with someone, and they're like, oh, I have this other friend, you'll think more highly of them because the person that you're with, who's really nice, is recommending them as a friend and saying, hey, they're really cool. Not always true, but most of the time, based on who your friends are, you can kind of say a lot. So, Kirishima, who is his best bro, is the nicest guy in UA. I don't think there's a single character that beats him out for kind, chivalrous, just the coolest dude ever. He just likes everyone. He's awesome. And, you know, we can talk about how great their friendship is just by the scenes that we see with them. So, there's the epic speech that Deku makes in, when they're rescuing Bakugou from the kidnapping. And this speech is about how, at this point, Kirishima is the only person that Bakugou sees as an equal. So Kirishima's the only person who can reach out and yell, grab my hand, and Bakugou will come. And I just, that moment just gave me chills. But like, that's their relationship. They trust and respect each other. I mean, Bakugou willingly, in the movie, Tale of Two Heroes, I have not seen Rising. That one. Oh shoot, I didn't say that in my spoiler learning. Oh no, I'm sorry guys. So if you haven't seen that movie, maybe jump out at this point. But I'm going to continue. So in the movie, when the bad guys start attacking, like, I mean, Kirishima saves Bakugou multiple times, and Bakugou is physically worried about Kirishima. You can see it on his face, and then when they finally defeat it, they run up to Kirishima. Are you okay? So I think it was Todoroki who just goes, why don't you deactivate your quirk? He's like, dude! That look on Bakugou's face was just like, was face palm in an instant. But yeah, so they're great. Like, Bakugo brings Kirishima to that event in the movie. Like, he won because he was the number one at the sports festival, and the Bakugo moments. And yeah, he brings Kirishima. Kirishima and him are best bros in this. You can see, you can take any season and just see how much Kirishima respects Bakugo. Just Kirishima's respect for Bakugo. We're not even talking about, like, other characters he's interacted with. We're talking about just Kirishima. Kirishima respects Bakugo and cares about Bakugo. And Bakugo cares about Kirishima. When he finds out that Kirishima got goggles, these really expensive goggles, in order to save Bakugo instantly, one, he can tell that Kirishima is physically distraught about the fact that he had to spend so much money on this. Like, he's physically down on himself, because I don't think Kirishima has that much money. One. And then two, Bakugo just fixes it instantly. Okay, to be fair, when I first saw that scene, I thought he mugged Denki. He does not, guys. He's not mugging Denki. He's being Denki up for information on why Kirishima is upset. Denki tells him. He basically pulls Denki away and he's like, why is Kirishima upset? And Denki tells him, and then I'm pretty sure he makes Denki use his electric thing so that Denki won't be able to say that that's what Bakugo actually did, because I don't think he has the level of maturity to say, look, I actually care a lot about you. You know? I don't think that's why. But anyway. And of course it's funny when Denki's just going, yay, yay, yay. Gotta love it. So, anyway, so his best friend Kirishima, and they rub off a little bit on each other. I think Bakugo's definitely, from season 1 to now, is a lot kinder, and that's a lot more Kirishima's influence. He's much more cool and collected. He's still angry, aggressive guy who just needs to learn to control his emotions, but he's definitely more calm. Not as instant aggression towards anyone. And I think that's Kirishima's influence. So that's probably the biggest person we had to talk about. We're going to talk about another guy, not as big as Kirishima, but he's another one of the Baku Bros, okay? As a fandom, we have the Baku Squad, and the rest of them haven't really interacted enough with Bakugo, I think, to really make a case for their relationship, but Denki has. So we're going to talk about Denki. Denki Kaminari. Or Kaminari Denki, I don't know which way it's supposed to go. Here guys are gonna, I'm gonna have so many comments of, you just don't know this! Are you really a fan when you don't know? Because I'm in the middle of recording, I don't know what I'm talking. Anyway. So, Denki, he's the one who chases Bakugo in the bus. Who makes Bakugo seem less scary. He's like, dude, it's really telling that we all know your personality type. And we barely know you. And he's one of the ones who makes fun of Bakugo when his hair's all straight. He's not afraid to be near Bakugo, right? Which is pretty cool. Like, a lot of characters are afraid to be near Bakugo. Denki's just like, rah, he's one of my dudes. Which is awesome, because, yeah, Denki's an awesome character, and I love him. The other thing that Denki does, and I said a lot of this in the Bakugo's growth, because it was important to Bakugo's growth, so I'm only going to kind of touch on it here. Denki makes this beautiful speech during the licensing exam about how Bakugo has grown and how Bakugo is actually really trying hard to be a hero. And I really think that kind of shows the relationship of how Denki sees the immediate kind of annoying Bakugo, and that's what he chooses, but he also can see the underneath. He also sees the Bakugo, the real Bakugo, the Bakugo that wants to be a hero, the Bakugo that's trying really hard. And that's what he admires. And I strongly see that Dinky really admires Bakugo. Of course, he's gonna make fun of him every now and again because it's fun, but he really does see Bakugo as, if not an equal, at least someone who is above him. Well, not like above him, like worship type of thing, but like someone who is above him in hero ranking, maybe. Like he would be the person who would be like number one. And that's what I love that. That's Dinky's whole perspective with Bakugo. So I love it. The last relationship I would like to talk about, and wow, this is so much shorter than his character development. Just want to point that out. It's only been like a minute. And I think you all know who I'm going to talk about is Deku. Yes, Izuku Midoriya is one of the most important relationships with Bakugo. I'd say he's second to Kirishima, only because Kirishima lets us in on Bakugo's soft side, whereas Deku's kind of more of like our initial perspective. Oh, Bakugo, Deku's kind of more like Deku's reacting to him more like how the audience reacts to him, as opposed to Kirishima, who actually kind of knows Bakugo. That's kind of how I see it. Even though Deku technically has a deeper history with Bakugo, we see it with the flashbacks of, Bakugo and Deku in the Baku squad. It's so cute, the little baby Baku squad. I'm sorry. Bakugo is just so cute as a little kid. But like the Bakugo agency, and he puts Deku in it. At this point, we don't know what Deku's going to be, but he puts Deku in it, and the two of them are friends. They both get the All Might. In the beginning, their friendship is kind of really like the way to put it is it's not like how others are in the show. It's not like it's one person who admires the other. Deku really admires Bakugo's strength and how cool Bakugo's quirk is, and it's kind of just shown throughout the thing. Like Deku makes all these hero character sheets and stuff. Like, he's always writing down about things about heroes and stuff. One of the people he has in there before he gets into UA is Bakugo. He saw Bakugo as like, Bakugo is going to be a hero someday. And I think it's really cool to see Deku go from admiring Bakugo to them having this one superior over the other relationship, or one admires the other, to kind of one fears the other. The one hates. So Bakugo hates Deku. Bakugo thinks of Deku as nothing more than like just a friend kind of thing, and Deku sees him as this amazing human being. Then it becomes Deku still thinks he's kind of cool, but is like totally afraid of Bakugo. So Bakugo going really hating Deku, to it starts to even out as they get into high school, to Bakugo and Deku kind of really disliking each other. I don't think Deku ever hated Kachan, or ever hated Bakugo, but I can say with certainty there's a point where Deku stopped like really admiring Bakugo. Like, there's a point in the show where you can feel it, where Deku is no longer going, Kachan's amazing, and kind of just been like, yeah, he's working hard like the rest of us. And then it goes into respect. And I think that's the best part, is that Bakugo's relationship with Deku goes from really bad power struggle, bully and victim, mutual hate, well, not mutual hate, but mutual dislike, to respect. And it's very evident by the end of their fight episode that the two of them are rivals now. Like I mentioned before, the cleaning scene really shows Bakugo now respects Deku. And Deku still respects Bakugo. I don't think he ever stopped respecting Bakugo. And it's just, you can't not talk about Bakugo without mentioning how relationship in Deku, and with Deku is so changing and so versatile. It's crazy. It's very interesting. I personally found it very interesting. Yeah, I think I hit all the mains. I can go through other ones he's had kind of interactions with. I would say Uraraka is another good. He doesn't have any close bond with her, but the whole fight between him and her, I love that he has this level of respect for her, and he knows that she is a worthy opponent, that he should go all out against her. Which is, it's funny how he says it's because she's one of Deku's friends, so she's going to do one of Deku's tricks. I really don't think that's what he means. I think he understood that she was tough. Especially from his, what part of that girl is fragile comment. So, that's in a relationship. There's not much to it yet. It hasn't really developed. So yeah. I love that. Again, Bakugou doesn't really have any other relationships that are kind of really well developed at this point. We can say things like, in the fandom, Bakugou has a Baku squad, which I think is adorable, and honestly, I can't wait for when that becomes like official and they actually do have like a moment of the Midoriya squad versus the Baku squad. Or the Deku squad versus the Baku squad, because that's just, I love those two squads. I think they're funny. I think they're great. The Baku squad consists of Mina, Zero, Kaminari, Banky, Kirishima. Right? That's all of them. Kirishima. They kind of recently added Jiro, but she was added later, so I don't really consider her part of the Baku squad. She's not really part of that group, but yeah. Anyway, I think it's cute. I love all the fan stuff of that relationship core would be so cool, because it's cool to have Bakugou with a group of people who are just happy and outgoing. Because look at the three characters that I chose to talk about relationships with. All three are outgoing characters. Two of them are obnoxiously outgoing characters. Deku's not obnoxiously outgoing, but Denki and Kirishima, those two, they are weirdly obnoxious, and I love them. But yeah, it's nice to have that positive, happy-go-lucky friend group around Bakugou, because his anger, he really just needs people who are just willing to be his friend, no matter what he says or what he does, and just take it as like, that's just how Bakugou is. That's not really who he is. That's just how he is, type of deal. So that's why I think these relationships are important, and I think it's cool. And I love the Baku squad. All right, to my next point. Alright, this is the last point I will be talking about, and this is Bakugou's personality. So, as I said 100 times while talking about his growth, he is smart, and it's really proven when they take their written part of their exams, and Bakugou's ranked 3rd. I want to point that out. He is above Deku, who is ranked 4, and we know Deku is our super nerd. He's our super nerd. And Todoroki, which, I don't know if he's a super nerd, but he's ranked 5. The only two people who beat Bakugou on the exam were Momo and Idia. Which, I mean, literally the class rep and the smartest girl in the whole school. Like, come on guys, like, if that doesn't show that Bakugou is really smart, I don't know what else to say. Other things that prove he's really smart, his costume design. In the show and on promotional goods and stuff, they talk about his designs. The giant grenades on his arms, his gauntlets, he has those so that they can store up nitroglycerin. Because, you know, as sweaty as Bakugou is, he's not sweaty enough to create a lot of nitroglycerin in short periods of time. So what those things do is they collect it on his body. They just take it and collect it and store it, which is great. During the licensing exam, they mention how he has on his costume, he has these little grenades that also store his nitroglycerin, so he can give them to his allies so they can also create explosions and stuff. Which, again, ingenious. He's also got, I love him. But he's also emotionally aggressive. And another thing about his costume, which I personally love, but it's a little immature. The like explosion things coming out of his hair are only meant to look intimidating. Which, based on what Bakugou believes is the way to be a hero, it makes sense. He believes that winning is the most important thing when being a hero. Winning, beating up the bad guy, getting rid of the bad guy. Which is a good... It is a philosophy of being a hero. It is stop the attack so you can save the millions as opposed to save the few. Whereas Deku, and I'm gonna give this little comparison, whereas Deku can't get past the few. He can't say, to him, he has to save everyone. Bakugou is, I need to save the most in the fast time. That's how his philosophy works. So he wins in order to save the many. Which is great. I love that. Win to save is the motto. So he is a bit immature in his emotions. He's a very aggressive character, and I just love it. I personally love it because it shows flaws. And they're realistic flaws, because I've known people, and myself included, who have hard times expressing their emotions. I know for me, when I'm really stressed, I actually do get very aggressive. I get very angry until I can solve the problem. So I think that's one of the reasons I connect with Bakugou, because he gets angry when he needs to solve something too. Anger is his defense mechanism, and it's partly mine, so I feel akin to him. Yeah. So he's very aggressive. Other good qualities he has, part of his personality, is he cares for his friends. Like I said before in the relationship one, he sees that Kirishima's upset, and he does everything he can to make Kirishima feel better about the goggles. You know, he gives him money. He inadvertently causes a very funny scene of Denki going, yeah, yeah. Love Denki. You know, that's being a friend. He obviously secretly likes his classmates because he starts, later in the series, he starts to go by their first name. Or, well, not their first name, but their actual names as opposed to round face, dumb hair. You know, based off not their nicknames. But there are instances where he actually says their real names, which is kind of cool. In a lot of promotional stuff, you'll see him paired with very interesting characters. One of my favorite ones is the one where he's sharing fries with Idia. Which, that just, I don't know why, but that just warms my heart. Because it's just like that moment, like the stuck-up rules guy versus the delinquent, and they're like friends. They're actually friends, and it warms my heart, because in any other anime, those two would hate each other so much because it's the delinquent and the class rep. This is like, no, they can be friends because they admire each other. They see each other's strengths. And of course, he's an adorable child. And with the adorable child, we do have to say, All Might, he does have this really big love of All Might. And it's only shown in the flashbacks, but there is a picture, a promotional picture, where he is wearing the outfit All Might wears in the movie, Tale of Two Heroes. In that movie when he goes to America. I'm sorry, but I gotta say, Bakugou secretly is still an All Might fan, and he just has like small little showings of it. I love it. amazing. He's awesome. I love him. Have I said I love Bakugo enough yet? But yeah, so I think that's what's so great about his personality, is that his emotions, he cares, he's a genuine character. A lot of issues I have with shonen is they'll usually only flesh out a few main characters and give those guys real arcs, and then a lot of the side characters will be very two-dimensional. I hope there are no Naruto fans watching, but Sakura, very two-dimensional, not very interesting character. You know, I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head, but she's the first that comes to mind. But they didn't go down the route with Bakugo I thought they would when I first saw him. When I first saw him, I thought he was gonna be the typical bully character. The character that, honestly, I didn't think he was gonna make it past the first couple episodes. I thought he wasn't gonna succeed in his exam to UA, and that would be our comeuppance, and that would be it. But when they put him in UA, I'm like, oh great, now he's just gonna be this character that is constantly bullying the main character throughout the whole thing. Like, he's always gonna be the antagonist. Bakugo is not always the antagonist. I hate to tell people who hate Bakugo, but no, he is not an antagonist. He's a rival. And he's a good rival. He pushes Deku to be better. I don't know how else to say that. They work well together, and I love it. And I love them, and it's just, if I had to say anything, it would be that Bakugo surprised me, and it made me realize a few things. Mainly, everyone's human, and we all make stupid mistakes. Bakugo's young, so he's obviously not equipped. But it just, I love this character for his growth, his change, his interestingness. How they gave him a personality, gave him a real world look on life. And his view, since his view is different than Deku, it's really nice to have two views on how to be a hero that both work for being heroes. And I think it really is just so great to have a really rounded character as the rival. And I'm completely rambling at this point, but I love him, and I love the growth. So yeah. Okay, moving on to my outro. Hi guys, it's FireCats3 from the future. As I was editing this video, I realized I totally forgot to mention Prototype Bakugou and stuff. So this is just an addition to my points on his personality. So when the creator of My Hero Academia first envisioned Bakugou, he was actually going to be a natural genius airhead type who, like, you know, would say just things that would not maliciously hurt people. Well, I mean, he would hurt people with the things he said, but it wasn't supposed to be malicious. And I don't know, I just feel like this original type was kind of boring. He was kind of more like he was more like how Deku is currently, where it's just like everyone can do it, and kind of too positive for my liking. It also doesn't really fit the character design. I think the choosing to make Bakugo a explosively angry guy who has just this emotional boom to him was just such a better idea. And it's just, if you compare and contrast the two, the Prototype and Bakugo, you can see that there was a lot more potential for character growth, with Bakugo being the bully, being the angry aggressive type, being the guy who just wants to beat Deku. It's much better foil to Deku, because he's literally, he has the opposite, well, not the opposite, but his way of viewing saving the world is different than Deku's way of viewing heroes, and it's a good foil composition for the two to have the naturally gifted guy who still trying hard to be a hero, but, you know, is kind of have a somewhat of an ego versus the guy who also tries hard to be a hero, but isn't naturally gifted and is kind of self-deprecating. That's just a better foil than the original foils, which would be naturally smart genius who's an airhead, mixed with a depressive guy. If I remember correctly, Deku's supposed to be like really depressed. So I don't know. It just the Bakugou that he chose to make is much more diverse, and there's a lot more room for character development. You know, you can have the bully, start him out as the bully, the emotional guy, and end him on being a chivalrous guy, being a guy who has morals and stands up and stuff like that. You can give him a lot more growth than a genius who's just an airhead. The best you can do with that is just, you know, make him not an airhead. Is like, that's his only character progression. So I just wanted to make that point that the current Bakugou we had is just, the current Bakugou we have is just such a better representation of a character, just a better display of a character with way more potential than his prototype. Don't get me wrong, I love his prototype and I love the fan fictions around the prototype, but the Bakugou we ended up with is just, it fits his design, it fits him so much better. It's a better foil to Deku, and it's amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to put in that one extra point. Now we can go into the outro. So that's the video. That's pretty much it. I know everyone's gonna go, well, what about shipping Bakugou? Yes, shipping is big to characters, and yes, I have a lot of Bakugou ships that I would love to talk about again. But I think this is where we're gonna end the video, because I think my ships should have their own video. I'm going to make a video, like, I don't know when, because I have a lot of other videos that I'm currently working on. But I know in the future, I will be making a video on just I'm guessing like maybe a top 10 of what ships I love, and then just give like a little explanation of what they are and what I love about them. In top 10 or something, I don't know. I have a lot of ships. I am a multi-shipper. So I love a lot of characters, and I ship a lot of characters. So maybe my top 10 My Hero Academia ships would be the video or something like that. I'm rambling again. This is supposed to be outro. This is supposed to be easy. Sorry, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.